in the Chovot Halevavot that the reason why God does not explicitly tell us the reward for the mitzvot is because really we don't deserve Olam Haba. Why not? How can you say such a thing? It's because really the comparison to what Hashem does for us, we barely do anything for Hashem. He does so way more for us than we do for Him. So therefore, you think about it, we don't really deserve reward unless Hashem gives us a kindness. Because even if a person's good deeds were as numerous as the grains of the sand at the sea, it would not be equal to even one of the many kindnesses Hashem did with us. So therefore, if Hashem really wanted to be demanding and meticulous with us, He could say that all your good deeds will be canceled out and disappear, and you don't even need any Olam Haba. Therefore, any reward you receive from Him, and magia lo al maaseh, you don't really deserve as payment for your deeds. So therefore, why do we get it? Because it's a chesed, because it's a kindness. Hashem gives us a kindness. Therefore, Hashem didn't have to mention this gift, this reward for the mitzvah, because it's not even an earned reward. It's a gift, and the gift Hashem doesn't have to mention. It doesn't have to tell us what the gift is. Okay, what about a punishment? Reward we don't really deserve. What about punishment? Do we deserve a punishment? So he says, "Acha'onish shnei olamim." However, punishment for averot, in both worlds, this world, the world to come, that you do deserve. Bedin u'be'emet u'bedin. V'chov shechaya bo adam, and it's actually a liability you incur. Rather, Hashem, He doesn't get the punishment for the kindness of the Creator. Hashem overrides the justice. As it says, the Adonai chesed. It says you Hashem as kindness. He is merciful one. He's forgiving of sin and does not destroy. So why does Hashem not mention in the Torah Olam Haba for punishment? Why doesn't He say about Gehinam and the levels of Gehinam and what you get exactly in Gehinam? Why doesn't it say that explicitly in the verses in the Torah? Because it could be that you won't get it. It could be that Hashem will cancel it out because of mercy. So therefore, He didn't want to write it down. And therefore, since you don't really deserve rewards, He didn't write down the reward. It was just a kindness. And also, since you might not get the punishment, not because you don't deserve it, you do deserve punishment. It's just Hashem might forgive you, Hashem might do kindness with you, so therefore He also left it out. Okay, good. Fifth reason. מהם כי מעשה הטוב מתחלק לשני חלקים. ממנו נסתר אין משקיף עליו זולת הבורא, כחובות לבבות, וממנו נברא האיברים, אינו נסתר מן הברורים, כי בין מצוות נברא האיברים. So there's two parts of deeds. There's part of a deed. Every mitzvah has parts that nobody sees. There's the part that and Hashem sees in your heart how you try to do the mitzvah. And Hashem sees in your brain how much you thought about the mitzvah. That nobody sees, only Hashem sees. And then there's the part of the mitzvah that you did with your limbs. That you moved your legs, you moved your arms, you were here, you were there. That everybody sees. He says, Hashem rewards the actions for your limbs in this world. And He gives you reward for the good deed that is in private and concealed with the reward that is concealed. And that's Olam Haba. So we said this last time, right? We said that the kavod you get in this world, that's your reward. That's why it's better never to get kavod. It's better to keep your mitzvot hidden and nobody should know. We said there's just a couple of exceptions. We said that in a case where you inspire others to do, it's better to say in the public and to show other people that you did. But in general, there's no need for that. So then you should do it privately, because now when it's hidden, you'll get a reward in the world that's hidden, which is Olam Haba. As opposed to when you do it in public, you'll get a reward in Olam Hazeh, which is public. He says, that's like King David, he said also, how abundant is your goodness that you hidden away for those who fear you. What does it mean hidden away? For the ones who do the mitzvot in a hidden way.
Nobody knows.
Right. So he said, you see what? You see that what comes out is this reason. The reason is that Hashem didn't write down the rewards for the mitzvot is because you should know that since some mitzvot you do in public, and some mitzvot you get in Olam Haba, so therefore it's not clear what you will get, and therefore that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't write it, because it's not supposed to be known to the public. It's not going to be. It's going to be each thing in private, right? Therefore, since the public has no knowledge of the good deeds and the sins that are done in private, and the reward and punishment for such deeds in Hashem's jurisdiction alone, the book of the Torah did not discuss the reward or punishment in the world to come. Because that's up to Hashem. That's nothing to do with other people. If we have to give Bet Din a punishment to this guy, you have to give him skila that everybody has to see and everybody has to involve with. Okay, fine. So that the Torah writes it down because we have to do it. But if the reward and the punishment is only to Hashem because it's hidden, so what does it have to do with us? We don't have to know anything about that. Okay, fine. He says, where's this? Yeah, good. Sixth reason. He says, when discussing reward and punishment in the Torah, each prophet specifically spoke of the reward and punishment of this world. Because he was talking to people of this world, because he wanted to say things to them that will motivate them. They said there'll be famine if we don't do the word of Hashem, and God will give us the land and peace and prosperity if we do the word of Hashem. So you see, he was speaking in matters of Olam Hazeh, with this world. He says, why? He says that but since Yehoshua, remember we said that Hashem spoke about Olam Haba to Yehoshua ben Yotzadak, the Kohen Gadol. He was so removed from earthly matters, so therefore he existed already in the spiritual world of the angels. So therefore Hashem had to encourage him with what he understands. And what does he understand? What speaks to him is Olam Haba. So the Torah is meant for everybody. So therefore what speaks to everybody? Reward and punishment, Olam Hazeh, in this world. And the Torah didn't mention about Olam Haba so much because not everyone's on the level to care or to know what Olam Haba means. So therefore Yehoshua ben Yotzadak, who was on that level, so Hashem couldn't speak to him Olam Hazeh stuff. He didn't care about that. So therefore he mentioned to him Olam Haba stuff. But us, in general, the general populace, that wouldn't really work. Number 7. Here's another reason why Hashem didn't mention the world, the Olam Haba, in detail. Olam Haba and even when you get Olam Haba, what's the purpose of going there? To enjoy? It's really to enjoy cleaving to Hashem. People think, in Olam Haba, there's going to be like a big banquet, and there's going to be meals upon meals, and smorgasbord, and there's going to be like these awesome mansions to live in, and there's such comfort to be part of. And it's mistaken, because really the bliss over there is what? The bliss is being connected to Hashem's Shekhinah, to be the getting from the radiance of Hashem. So therefore he says, what's the point of saying the reward of Olam Haba is if they're looking to get some pleasure? The idea is that the objective is to specifically to cleave to Hashem, to be drawn to His supreme radiance. As it says, V'alech lefanecha tzidkecha, kvod Hashem yasvecha. It says in Yeshaya, your righteous deed will precede you, and the glory of Hashem will gather you in. As the Bukharians, they always say, what does that mean? The wise will shine like the radiance of the firmament. And what does it mean, the shining? What does it mean, this light? This means that being cleaving to Hashem's light, the being favored by the Creator, and coming close to Hashem. He says in Parshat Bechukotai, it says many times that if we do the word of Hashem, Hashem will find favor in Hashem's eyes. And if we don't do the word of Hashem, Hashem's going to be, my spirit will reject you, or will not turn toward you, right? Hashem will be pushed away, the land will spit you out. So it comes out, what's the point? The root of the world to come is to be close to Hashem. So it was unnecessary to go into the details of the reward. The reward is not the main thing. The main thing is to be close to Hashem. But you have to know that what does it mean? My spirit will not reject you in the pasuk. The Yakut Ma'am says like this. He says a human being cannot remain in the company of a same person indefinitely. You have a good friend. If you hang out with him all the time, sometimes you get sick of him. Okay, time for you to go home already. If we hang out too much, we get bored of each other, right? He says, even if two people truly delight in each other, if they remain together and have no break, even a husband and wife, they don't have no break, their joy wanes. It's not so exciting. The first time it's exciting, after it's not exciting. But what happens when you have the delight of the company of Hashem? Over there, my spirit will not reject you, the pasuk says. That the first time you experience Olam Haba, how exciting it is, that's how it's going to be always, for eternity. And they say the opposite. They say when a person does a sin, and he has to pay for it in Olam Haba, and he regrets that he did the sin, he should have done the mitzvah, that pain and that regret, it never goes away. That intensity he has in the first moment, he'll have with him all forever and ever, the whole time of eternity in Olam Haba. Therefore you see that since there's no bodies over there, that's why you feel intensity all the time. That's what it means. The Gemara says, Torah scholars have no rest in the world to come. Why do they have no rest? Because that extreme and high level of radiance of Hashem and the closeness to Hashem they experience, they will never get a rest from that. They'll always feel that intensity. It's as if they just came. It's as if they just started experiencing it. Okay, so what we're going to speak about next time is bitachon and how Hashem rewards to the mitzvot. A lot of times people do mitzvot and they see that Hashem doesn't give it right away, the reward. And we're going to see that the Rambam says, what's the reward for a mitzvah? Mitzvah, the reward of a sin is a sin. So how are you going to do the next mitzvah? You don't have money, if you don't have a house, you don't have a wife, you don't have a car, you don't have kids. So Hashem a lot of times gives us requisites in order to do the next mitzvah. But the reward is Olam Haba. But we see that sometimes the Hashem doesn't even give that. And we're going to see why. But a person has to know, Hashem promises, Hashem always delivers. And you have to have bitachon in that. Baruch Adonai.